Hello, my name's Angelica Corral with What in the World Events, and we have a wonderful guest today. His name is Chaitanya Bailey. This is part two of AI and the wonderful things that it could do for our organization. So he's going to show us, he's going to demonstrate a project that he's going to be doing, and we're really excited about it. So you want to talk more about it, Chaitanya? You could talk about your organization as well.
Sure, sure,
Uh-huh.
Angelica. I am the founder and chief strategy officer for Index Strategy Consulting. That's my company.
Mhm.
So, what we do in Index Strategy Consulting is that we kind of sell applications of generative AI. It could be branding, it could be
Mhm.
marketing, and it could be anything that runs around generative AI. And the objective of why we use generative AI is to make sure that we grow organizations. So anything that has got to do with growth and anything that has got to do with applications of generative AI, we take care. So
I love it. I love it. I'm excited. This is
thank
all
you.
new, and I love to learn, and I'm sure a lot of our guests love to learn as well. So this is going to be really interesting.
Thank you. So the other thing that we are really good at is providing a lot of brand interactions and customer interactions.
Okay.
So all that we do is that when people start talking to your brand, when people start interacting with what you put in their hand,
Hmm.
it becomes a memory, it becomes an experience. And once you experience something, see, you might forget my brand, you might forget what I told you, but you will never forget the experience. Now,
Yes.
I think we spoke about this the last time. Now let's
Mhm.
assume you and I meet somewhere, and the first thing you do is autopilot. You give me your business card. I take it, I look at it, I shake hands, and maybe ask a question.
Mhm.
And then the next moment, I have put the card in the pocket, and after I go home, I probably put it on my desk. And 3 days later, my helper will trash it. Now, I will not remember Angelica a little later. Now, let's break the pattern.
Mhm.
You ask me, can you give me your card? So I have a QR code printed on my shirt. I said, Angelica, pick out your smartphone, scan this. The moment you scan it, you get a form. Give me
Mhm.
your. I know you are interacting with Mr. Chaitanya. Can you
Yes.
leave your phone number and email ID in this form? And you fill this, and then right after you press the submit button, you see a video of me telling you what I do and with my cards, with my coordinates. Now, will you forget this experience? You have not seen this experience ever. Now, the next time somebody gives you a card, you recollect me. So that's the point. So how do we bring those experiences is what I kind of work on.
Okay.
Great. All right. So, Angelica, as I said, this time it's going to be a practical session. We'll build a brochure for you, a
Okay.
brochure that has videos. Now, you have sent me a few videos. Thank you.
Yes.
I've received them. Now, tell me a little about what this program is. So, what
Well,
were you
what?
trying? Yeah.
Okay. Head Start is a program that helps families that have children that need childcare. And these families are low income families, so they can't pay the high price of childcare. And so that's where we come in. We help their families by providing services for the children. We offer a lot of free services, and we give them a lot of different free resources when they come to school. Parents don't even have to prepare food because the food is there for the children and it's nutritious. So all of
Mm.
that, and we make sure that we give the best education to the children and provide the best interactions for the preschoolers. So now what
Okay.
we've been doing is trying to find ourselves some teachers. So we've been recruiting teachers, and that's what the videos I sent you were about. They're about um, they give an idea of what Head Start is like and what it's like to work with the children and the children are so great, and so are the teachers. So I really enjoy it. So I think you'll like it too when you see it.
Awesome. Okay. Now, do you what's your URL? The website, the link to the website.
Oh, you're talking about the
Head
organization?
Start. Head Start. Yes.
Oh, it's Neighborhood House Association. And
Okay.
under Neighborhood House Association, one of our programs is Head Start.
Okay.
Yes.
Neighborhood House Association.
Yes.
All right. So let me start sharing the screen.
Okay.
So this is going to be practical. So you will have to bear with me. And do you see my screen?
No, I don't. But what I'll do is maybe if I do that, it might work. Try it again. It seemed to have worked before.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason it's not now.
Yeah. Okay. Now, does it work?
I'm going to share it right now. It says share screen,
No,
allow share.
I'm sharing it. Can you
Oh,
see
okay.
my
So
screen?
yes, I do see it. Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, now this is the website, right? No, Neighborhood
Uh,
House Association,
Neighborhood House Association. Is
San
that what
Diego
it's?
County.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now
Yeah,
under
that's
this program, yeah. Okay. Head Start.
yes.
All right. Beautiful. So, as I said, we will start with a small booklet that you will share with people. All right.
Okay, awesome. So, what
Okay.
program are you using to
Right
make the?
now,
Hmm.
sure. So I'm picking some content from the website, and
Okay.
then I will create a small emotional booklet that you can share. All right.
Okay.
So let's say I am using this now to create the booklet. I'm going to use Canva. Okay. Everybody has heard of Canva. Now I'm using Midjourney to create some pictures.
Okay.
Imagine. Um,
I have
s-
a
s-
friend an artist friend who always uses Mid Journey.
okay. Okay. 6 year. I'm not going to complicate it.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'll talk a little bit about what the program is about.
Okay,
Unless
so
unless
Midjourney is an image generation software.
uh-huh.
So when I work with a lot of clients, some of them may not have pictures that are meant for my work. So what I do is I use Midjourney to create my pictures. Now, as you
Nice.
see, the image is getting generated.
Yes.
Right, so let it generate and then we can start using it.
Okay, awesome. Now, the children that we service we have many different cultures. We have
Right.
uh, kids from Haiti, we have kids from Africa, we have kids um, from Mexico, from Venezuela, because we have a lot of refugees
Sure.
from Venezuela. Yeah.
Sure. Now look at these. Look at the quality of the picture that is generated.
It looks great.
Right. So I like version 4. Now this image, when I click this button, the image gets upscaled.
Okay.
So now look at this. This is the picture that it has generated.
Nice.
Right. Now I will extract this. Now while I am doing this, let me create one more picture. All right.
Okay.
Um, right now I created a Caucasian child, right? So now let's look at a Mexican child.
Okay.
The image gets generated. Meanwhile, what I can do is I can click this picture, download this.
Mm-hmm.
This is on my desktop, and I go to Canva and create my page. This is how
Excellent.
my picture looks. Now, does Head Start have a logo? No, right? May not be, correct?
Yeah, yeah, they do have a logo.
So, does it show up anywhere here?
Yeah, it should be on the on the main page. It's a circle with NHA in
This
it.
one. Right, right, right. Okay. Now your picture has come in. Now, what I'm doing is I'm adding shadows to it.
Okay, nice. How long have you been using a Midjourney, Chaitanya?
About an year now, almost. I
Wow,
think my license is almost near renewal. So,
10 years, you say?
no, no, 1 year, 1 year.
1 year.
Midjourney is very recent. Yeah, very
I know.
recent.
That's
So,
why I thought.
right. So now my book is ready. Now, by now, I think my other image also is ready somewhere.
Okay.
Right. There you go, the Mexican child. Now I want to use version 1. There you go. Does it look cool?
Yeah, it does. Hmm.
Right. Now, what is one other race? So, African kid now.
Yeah.
So, what I'm doing right now is a very simple version of what we do as a daily work.
Hmm.
So, the images that we generate are very complicated, highly complex. So, just let me show you a few samples.
Hmm.
Some of them are good, some of them are bad. So, now, yesterday we were working on a biophilic design for a company. So, a biophilic design is where you have natural elements coming into corporate buildings. So, this was for a US client. They plan to have aquariums and water pools in the building. So, they just a artistic visualization. So, these were
Nice.
some pictures that we created for their social media pages. And then they wanted to show some carbon footprint. Now, this is the image we created for showcasing their carbon footprint. They like this. So everything you see, humanoids, anger, all this. I mean, somebody wanted a Pixar kind of an image.
Hmm.
So we write different fonts, and this is what goes into designs.
Okay. For some reason, it looks like the audience might not be seeing the screen because Beatrice says, "Should audience see your screen?"
Um, I'm because I'm doing a practical session. Oh, okay. They can't see the screen, is it?
Yeah, it looks like that. Beatrice is saying.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. All right. All right, then I think we should go back to question and answers because if they don't see this, then there's no point. There's no fun in it. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So, okay. All right. So here was let's go back to where we started. Say,
Okay.
for instance, you have a certain program that is running this food preparation. So you feed these kids and you have teachers preparing food. That's the video that you give, right?
Yes.
Now, most of the time, what happens is you create a brochure. A
Hmm.
brochure has probably a few pictures of this
Yes.
language. You write some English, maybe at best. Most of the time you don't have access to a copywriter, so you whatever you think is the best goes into the booklet.
Hmm.
Sometimes, if you are a part of the community, you understand the emotion behind that language. And if you like the pictures that are clicked, then you like the emotions that are in the pictures. But what
Mhm.
if you don't have both? Now you create a bland booklet which looks like some kind of design, and people today do not anyway read. So then you have a bigger problem because um, the message is not going. But
Mhm.
what people do is watch or listen. So they watch videos or they listen to podcasts. Now, what if I create a booklet which has got, okay, let me stop sharing that.
Let me see. Let me ask Beatrice or Ashay if they could see it now. Can anybody see what's on the screen now? Please give us a comment. Oh, it looks like they. I think we could probably see it now because I see us on the side. Do you see it?
Hmm. Yeah, I see, but I think it also looks very bad. So,
I think you have the where you can make
oh,
it.
Beatrice, you can see the screen.
Yes.
Okay, but
Okay.
this
Good.
is not the right way to see because it's an infinite sequence, so nobody will be able to see the details of what we are showing. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so what we then do is we create a booklet, and there's a way in which I create a flip book, and on the flip book, I add a layer of video to it.
Hmm.
So now what happens is, or can we send a link to these audience?
We could
Okay,
we
fine.
could probably put it
Okay,
in the chat.
all right. So let me join the chat.
It
Okay.
says post a comment.
Hmm. All right. I'm not able to do that. All right. Okay. That's fine. So I think I didn't realize this. So what then happens is in the booklet we include a layer of a video,
Uh-huh.
and whatever you want to speak, whatever you want to convey becomes a video. It could be
Mhm,
your self-recorded video. It
mhm,
could be a AI recorded video, AI generated video. So with good pictures and stock photography going in,
mhm,
and then people watch videos. Let me give you an example of what kind of an impact it creates. I do these handout booklets for marathons. So I cover about 8 marathons across the world.
mhm,
So all the marathons had the same problem. The government says, the law says that you have to hand over a booklet with instructions to all the runners.
mhm,
So the marathons call the runners to a particular place a day before the marathon. They give them their bib, they give
mhm,
them a booklet,
mhm,
and some other paraphernalia that the marathon needs. But nobody takes the booklet. The second point is that now, since nobody takes the booklet, they start sending booklets on WhatsApp or their emails. Now,
mhm,
people don't check email. The best thing they do is delete it.
mhm,
On WhatsApp, they think they know everything. They will not see the booklet. I mean, maybe block it or they kind of delete it. Now,
mhm,
what
mhm.
happens on the day of the marathon? Now, imagine a marathon like the Mumbai Marathon, the Bombay Marathon.
Wow.
140,000 people assemble in one place. 140,000. And half of them do not know what to do next. Where do they assemble? What are the rules by which you assemble in the right place to begin your marathon?
Mhm,
And it's a nightmare.
mhm,
And the government also, most of the places, what also the governments do is they make small changes based on what is happening in the city, so they don't disturb it too much. Now, that last minute advisory has to go to the runners. So there is a lot of issue. Maybe sometimes people notice, sometimes people don't. But if that kind of a message has to go, what do you do in the last
mhm,
moment? So what we do is we give this. Now we are printing a small QR code on the T-shirt or on the bib or something. So you scan the code and the whole booklet opens. And
nice.
inside the booklet are these videos, and these are videos. The beauty is the videos can change. Now, generally, when you open a book, you read content, right? The content does not change. But
Yes.
what if the content changes? Right? So, this is what we have been able to engineer using AI. So, every time you read the book, the content changes. Say, for
Hmm.
instance, give me the name of one book that you read, Angelica, regularly.
One book that I read regularly,
Say the
well,
Bible. Say the
the
Bible. Okay.
Bible. Yeah.
Alright. So if there is a particular chapter, first chapter, then you read it regularly, and probably there are thousand scholars who have interpreted the verses of the Bible in different ways. Now,
Hmm.
what if there's a verse number 9, and then you have a QR code next to it?
Hmm.
The first time you scan it, probably the Pope himself is speaking about it. The second time you scan, somebody else, one other authority on the Bible is speaking about it. And the third time, probably another authority from a different country is speaking about it. So the interpretation of the same holy book in multiple versions by multiple experts in multiple dimensions are speaking to you. So the version of the Bible is not one, but many. You understand the point, right? Now, similarly, look at any book, New York Times. When you look at the book, when you look at the cover, there's a picture and then there is some text on it. Now,
Hmm.
there's a story behind that picture. Now, who's capturing that story? Right now, maybe there is an article about it, there's a write up about it, but not more. But when the photo shoot went in, there's a story to it. Now, what if I put in a QR code and then every time you scan the book, the cover, the a small part of that photo shoot shows up. Now, what kind of content do people consume? Most of it is the celebrity content, right? So that content goes in and then makes it a live book.
Hmm.
Yeah. Questions?
Well, I think that that's. I wanted to make a comment. When it's a live book, it's more interesting because when you could see, first of all, when you have a picture, when you have a book without pictures, it's not as interesting. People say a picture says 1,000 words. Well, I think a
True.
video says even more, right? Because you could hear the sounds, you hear the music, it affects you emotionally. So there's a uh, bigger way of getting people to understand your message when you have video. So I
Right.
think that's pretty cool.
All right. So that I think half, I mean 90% of the message is lost because we are not able to show it. Unfortunately, I should have figured this out. Um, but the other thing that we could also do is, okay, now this is one example that I can give you. Now, let's say you go to buy a jewel, maybe a ring. All right, you go to the jeweler.
Hmm.
You go, you choose everything that you have, you make a bill. He puts it into a beautifully designed box, puts it
Hmm.
in a very beautifully designed cover, and then he gives it to you. Now, in the entire interaction, what part of the shopping experience do you think gives you the maximum kick?
I think it's when you're looking at the gems and you're trying to decide which one that you want, because it's like an adventure. So that's part of it.
Spot on. Spot on. Now, we had one jeweler from South Africa reach out to us for an experience like this.
Hmm.
So we did some research. We went to stores here in India and we started observing ladies buying the jewel.
Hmm.
Uh, the biggest kick they had was when the jeweler opened the box,
Hmm.
and then even it before the XP, the jewel went onto the hand or the neck. We felt the ladies were excited. We had a few lady employees who we actually hired a few psychology students to kind of measure this, and then they went and started having a random conversation, and then we realized that this was the time when ladies feel the maximum adrenaline or estrogen, whatever you call it. So they were
Mm-hmm.
excited. Now, how can we replicate that particular experience? So what we then did was we told the jeweler to create a small artificial ring again, which is not very expensive, and
Mm-hmm.
along with the ring that is packed to you, this is also placed in the box. All right. Now, what we tell the lady is that after the billing is done, take the artificial ring, put it on your hand, take your phone and scan it.
Mm-hmm.
Show your camera to it. What then happens is the latest inventory of rings that are in the store come onto your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So we said every day we are going to load three such designs, and whenever you are bored or whenever you want to see something, why don't you put it on your hand and then start seeing it? Initially,
Mm-hmm.
we got no reactions. We made a small mistake, or the jeweler made a mistake. It was a self-imposed restriction. He thought the younger generation will not buy the rings because these are people who will buy from e-commerce stores. And he
Mm-hmm.
started showing it to middle-aged and senior ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, why are you doing this? Who knows? You are a sales guy, you are a store owner. You should not make such discrimination, and you never know who becomes your customer and when.
Mm-hmm.
So we again kind of spoke to him and said, see, whoever comes, let them experience this. And then
Mm-hmm.
the leads started trickling in. I think the first week we got maybe 1,000 views, but
Wow.
in 1 month we went to 3 million views.
Mm.
Because what started happening was the ladies, whenever they were free, they started putting it on their hand and they started experiencing it. So
Mm-hmm.
for 1 or 2 weeks, the excitement was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you get addicted to something, you can't stop. You need more of it. So what they
Yeah.
started doing is in India, going to a neighbor is not a big deal. You don't have to take an appointment or you don't have to kind of ask them. You can walk in. So these ladies started knocking the next door and started putting it on their hands and then started showing the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
So it became a viral thing, and this guy kind of did extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
So, so the jeweler was from South Africa. We did it for an Indian store first, and
Mm-hmm.
then later what they did was they kind of paid us our fee, and then they started their own company for this.
Nice.
Right. So the kind of experiences that generative AI can do along with augmented reality can be magic.
I see. I see. I love the whole experience. I wanted to just share what a few people that are in the room are saying, and I see that Akshay Kumawat wants to know where you're from, Shatanya.
I'm from
Shaiti.
Bangalore, Akshay. If you are still here, I'm from Bangalore.
Okay. All right. And Betcar says good. And Beatrice says smartly engineered. And Betcar says yes. So we're getting a lot of good response from the AI that you're talking about today. There's
Thank
just
you.
the sky's the limit, or there is no limit, right? Because there's so much that you can do with that's just one thing that you could do that you're
True,
mentioning right now.
true. So, first, Bedkar, thank you so much. I think you give us a lot of good comments. You encourage us every time you do. Beatrice has been a great support, and she keeps walking into my posts and makes some great comments. Thank you so much. So, as I said, Angelica, the purpose of or the mission that we have is to engineer a lot of brand conversations.
Yes.
So, even when we do not get a part of an assignment which has brand engineering, we give our clients, we go a step ahead, over and above what they asked for to start a brand conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So once the client sees what the kind of magic that happens when brand conversations start, the project goes bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, we had one one client who did who was into car repairs and service.
Mhm.
He came to us for a completely different reason. He wanted us to fix some of his supply chain issues, and
Mhm.
he wanted some basic processes in which they take care of the entire customer experience.
Okay.
Now, that was a very small project. We were just getting out of COVID, so any project was good project because we needed the cash flow start going. And after
Okay.
we did this, I spoke to my partner and said, I think this guy does not understand the power of what he's doing.
Mhm.
So let us give him one small experience. So what we did was we created 1,000 stickers,
Mhm.
thousand, just 1,000 stickers, which are dynamic, and they had a specific function. So now let's assume Angelica comes into my showroom. You
Mhm.
deposit your card to say this is due for service. I said,
Yes.
Angelica, thank you so much. I want you to I want you to give me a scanned copy of your driving license, your pollution certificate, your car registration papers, and your license. Yeah, maybe three.
Mhm.
And you give me scanned copies right in front of you. I scan them using my smartphone,
Mhm.
take a sticker, stick it on your dashboard, and send all these three into the sticker. Right now, when you scan, you get, say, angelicacoral.com. But
Mhm.
after I scan and send your documents, all your whatever documents you need to have when you drive are in that small sticker.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, done. You go home. I finish my car service, and when I hand over, I say, Angelica, why don't you scan this? You scan it, and all your records, all your driving records are there in this. Now, the what we told the customers, what we asked the service engineer to tell the customer is, if you are driving this car, unless you make an accident, you will not be fined because all your documents are there in this.
Mhm.
Right. So in India, I don't know what happens is you will have to carry all these with you. You should have a pollution certificate. All of them drive. If you don't,
Mhm.
then they fine you. So because people don't carry it often, they tend to forget some of these. They usually get fined. But now, if you take the car out, all the documents are on the dashboard. You can't pull the sticker out. Now that became a new project for us. So this particular car agency orders a few thousands of them every month.
I love it. Can I make a
So
comment on that really quickly?
please,
Um, because I see right now in San Diego, we're having floods, and people are their documentation is getting ruined. And so if you have something compact like that where they could keep it, like let's say even in their wallet, then they have that record that they don't have to worry if it gets damaged because they have that with them. So that's pretty cool.
interesting.
And we got also a message here from LinkedIn user that says, "Hi Angelica, hi Chaitanya. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you." what
Thank
are
you.
the what are the potential risks or challenges of integrating AI into brand building, and how can they be mitigated?
Okay. Thank you so much for this question. I think we did answer this the last time, but let me repeat this. AI is a great man Friday. It's a great assistant. It'll speed up your work like by multiple times. But
Mhm,
AI can has hallucinate. AI can give you wrong data. AI can make mistakes, and it is likely to make mistakes. So the best thing you will have to do is whenever you integrate AI with branding, please have some human with some authority and with some competency with branding as a skill to go through whatever comes out so that you don't make those grave mistakes that can come back to bite your brand.
mhm,
So imagine this, if you are a great branding guy, your AI will multiply the value of what comes out it by a million times. But if you're not skilled in branding, what AI can give you can be rubbish. So you should know how to use the tool. Garbage in, garbage out. So that's what AI is. So if you
Mhm.
know this, so you know what to input, so you get the output as such.
The prompts, you have to be good at the
Yeah, the
prompt.
prompts.
Hmm.
Right, you're spot on, Angelica. For the prompts, you need to know how to use those prompts.
Hmm.
Great.
Carol has a question as well. He says
Okay.
is it okay?
Yeah, yeah.
When developing an AI strategy, what steps should companies consider?
Um, I really don't know, but let me tell you from my common sense.
Hmm.
Now, why are you? First thing is that you should know your why first. Why are
Hmm.
you first adopting an AI strategy?
Hmm.
Is it really required? No. If it is required, in what quantities, in what fractions, and where are you going to use this? Great. Now, the second question, if I start using AI, how serious am I in being continuous with it? Do I have the skills? Do I have the competencies? Do I have a roadmap to bring in competencies? Do I have the budgets? And after this, how do we sustain it? So these are all basic things that you need to understand. And once you have this understanding, once you know your why, probably the how and when can be figured out. And a little later, you will actually come back to start putting a policy together or putting a strategy together.
Okay.
And as somebody who knows your organization in and out, you should consider all factors. So I think it's a very generic answer, but if you can give me a very specific situation, I can give you a tailored answer. But again, for anything we do, the five W's and one H: who, what, when, where, why, and how. So these are questions that we need to figure out for that strategy.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for that question,
Carol,
Carol.
yep.
And also thank you for the question, LinkedIn user. Betgar says interesting project experience, and he has a smiling face. Innovative. Carol also asks another question. He says, "Hello, Angelica and Chaitanya. When developing an AI strategy, what steps should companies consider besides below? Assess business goals, understand how AI aligns with your organization's objectives, identify areas where AI can add value, data readiness, evaluate data
Data
availability."
availability, quality, and privacy, clean
Mhm.
and prepared data for AI applications, talent acquisitions, and so on. So, Carol, all of these are possible applications. Each one of these, every aspect of your organization can be attached or integrated with AI. So, can it be only AI or is it generative AI? Both. But again, as I said, you should know your why. Why am I integrating it? Say, for instance, if you're a small organization which probably 40 people, you may not need generative AI integration, but or AI integration. But if you are somebody who has like 2,000 people and then you always have 20 people coming in and 30 people going out, or whatever is the number, then you will reduce a significant amount of time using data, using AI. Now, the other thing that you very rightly pointed out is data readiness. I do not know if you have actually had an opportunity to go and see the data that exists in organizations. Most of the times, it is a nightmare. It is in multiple formats, multiple styles, and from multiple sources. Putting them together is a nightmare. So, the first thing you will have to do is identify a way to cleanse this data, get them into one particular structure, and then this structure goes into the machines that you want to use. Otherwise, you will be causing more damage than good, because the machines will only do what they are supposed to do. They don't care what you have fed them. So cleansing this becomes even more worse, and the insights can be can be nightmarish. So like all these are regular steps. Like I said, there's no one particular formula to strategy to apply this. Like you said, where do I use it and how much do I use it are the first two questions you answer, and then the remaining things can be figured out. Thank you for asking this question, Carol.
Yes, and LinkedIn user says, "Thanks, Chaitanya." I think what you mentioned also, because we have a small marketing department and I'm in the social media marketing. And when it comes to video, I do a lot of editing, and editing takes a long time. You
Right,
and so I think that's where AI can help as well because, for example, we're doing this podcast right now.
right.
I know that there's a AI that shortens that takes certain parts of it and makes it a shorter version so that I could put it like, let's say if I want to put it on TikTok or on other platforms that are shorter platforms, then I could do that. So
Hmm.
I could see how that's helpful even for a team that's a small team because um, that's a lot of work to have to do editing when you're doing
True.
everything, when you're doing the filming, when you're doing, the editing, when you're doing the script writings, that's another thing. ChatGPT can help with the script writing, so it just
Yeah,
makes overall, it makes everything faster. Yeah.
faster. True. So as we speak, Angelica, there are Pictory, Pictory.com is one application which gives you beautiful videos. But these are all stock. These are videos that are compiled from stock videos that exist, and the accuracy of what it produces as an output is pretty good. Having said that, again, there are engines like Kyber which give you next level of videos. Kyber and Pika. They are
Mm,
small clips, maybe a few seconds, but pretty strong. The face swapping feature is coming very quickly into videos, and I haven't yet had the time or opportunity to try it because, as I said, it's exploding. There's so much of generative AI that you don't even have time to, as I said, maybe 1 year back, I would say I know AI better.
mhm.
Maybe 6 months back, I would say I know generative AI better. But now I say, okay, I know I'm intelligent enough to understand what generative AI is doing. I do not know everything
Yeah.
because every time we go to a client, he comes with a new dimension and a new tool and says, "Have you not known this? I know the basics, but let me figure out how this tool works because they're
Yes.
exploding."
Mhm.
So, as you say, there are videos where, let's say, you get down your car, you walk into the office through whatever is the garden or whatever, then you enter the office and you navigate yourself through the cubicles and reach your cubicle. So this is
Mhm.
let's assume this is a video that you somebody has shot a day in Angelica's life. Now, feed this to AI. They swap your face, and the lady that gets out of your car is Angelina Jolie. By the
Mhm.
time she enters the office, maybe Salma Hayek, and then the face keeps changing.
Mhm.
And while you're walking, the background effects also change. And
Mhm.
all this will take a few minutes, right? So a small video of maybe 1 minute from of your journey from your car to your cubicle can be made so interesting, and
Mhm.
within that can be your branding, within that can be your storytelling, with so many celebrities coming and putting in those words. You are the one who's speaking, but it looks like it's those celebrities who is endorsing what you do.
Mhm.
So it's a wonderful world, but it's also throwing up new opportunities, new challenges. Now,
Yes.
do we
Yes.
have a law which will guide this? Now, what we are talking about is a very good example, is a good example of making a change to humanity. And technology, as you know, can be used on both sides. Now,
Mhm.
what if um, a very unsuspecting lady has been morphed to show a dirty side of society? A
Mhm.
small kid morphed to show something that kid should not know. Now the
Mm.
kid is traumatized for life because
Yes.
when it goes into public, the neighbors do not know if it is original or fake, or
Mhm.
nor do they have the discretion even to think, should I forward this?
Yeah.
What we are knowing right now, what we are handling now is lot of knowledge, but the wisdom is already gone, long gone.
Yes.
Right. So one particular incident that happened is of an actress, an upcoming actress in India, whose video was morphed, and showed in
Mhm.
a very bad light, and then she was practically in tears for no mistake of hers. Now
Yeah.
imagine that happening to a boy or a girl, and then every video that comes to you is not probably real. So first,
They've
simple
been
thing.
saying that. Yeah, they've been like Taylor Swift, they said that they have some videos of her like that they put on the web that are pornographic videos, and she's suing the company that made the videos. So,
So the basic question then happens is, are you so dumb that you should be known as somebody who will circulate pornographic videos on WhatsApp? Idiots, right? So cut it. If you have received it, first cut it. You end the source. And second, why would you want to be a part of damaging somebody's life? Let's
yes.
assume somebody has done it. It is
Some
nobody
people are
does it
just won't
willfully.
people
Yeah,
yeah, some people are not thinking, you know?
yeah, exactly.
There's a lot
Exactly.
of
Like I
people
said,
that aren't. Yeah, go ahead.
machines are becoming intelligent and humans are dumbing down. Right? So we spend 5 to 7 hours watching social media, and the machines are learning 24 hours a day. So imagine the irony. So
Interesting. That's an interesting analogy, but yeah, it's true. Uh, like you said, AI has a lot of potential, but it also we need to be we need to use our brains when it comes to what we're going to use it for and how and we need to think about how it's going to help the world be a better place as opposed to bring somebody down or like something like that. Even if it's just one, like let's say the the singer, she feels really bad about it, but it really affects everybody who watched it, right?
true.
Because that type of when people see that, it creates like an addiction for some people, and then they start to see women in a certain way. In fact, Ted Bundy said, the serial killer, he said that before he used to be a normal guy, and he said, but everything changed when he started seeing magazines with pornography, right? And then he said when he went to prison, he said that he noticed that all of the guys that were there, that that was the same thing for them, that they had that problem. So I thought that was an interesting story because everything that we bring into us is going to affect us. Like you said, garbage in, garbage out. Just the same
True.
with AI, right? So
Right.
we need to be careful as to what we put in there. So thank you, LinkedIn user who said good question, Angelica. And Chris Agnotan says greetings, everyone.
I
Betcar, this has a smile. Informative and insightful response by Chaitanya. And
thank you.
Ma- and Betcar says machines are becoming brilliant. Yes.
Yes.
Well, this has been a really interesting conversation. Carry on, my friend. Carry on. We were gonna
Um,
do that demonstration, so we're gonna have
yeah,
to figure out how
I'm
to.
ruining it. I'm ruining it. It should have been a great activity where we would build something together. So, okay.
But so
So,
this is a good opportunity to think of how we could do it next time. Maybe we can have a
yes,
video
yes,
ahead of
yes.
time, and we don't know. We'll see how we could
Yeah.
do it.
We actually, when you see it live, right, there'll be a lot of questions that people here will ask.
Uh-huh.
And those questions will be my feed for my next product. So most of my engineering happens because my customers ask me questions. So I
Mm,
think that's one thing that has been very consistent. When I joined or when I started my career first, I worked with a professor who chose me for a certain skill,
mhm,
and I learned it from him. So he would give me an assignment and then say you have 2 days to work on it. So I would work on it, and then I go to him, and then he would say let's go through this. And if I made the mistake, when I did the right things, he would say all right, very good, next assignment. But
Mhm.
whenever I made a mistake, he would make a 2 hour session of dissecting it. And it would be like, and initially I thought, he enjoyed doing that. So after
Mhm.
5, 6 times, I asked him, Professor, why do you do this? I already made a mistake. I know I made a mistake. He said, no, no,
Mhm.
no, that's fine. You made a mistake. It doesn't matter, but I want to understand why you made that mistake.
Mm.
Two, maybe three reasons. One, I didn't teach you properly. I didn't give
Mhm.
you my instructions were not clear. Two,
Mhm.
um, probably you were trying to see this in a completely different way. So it
Mhm.
is, as a 50-year-old, I am rigid. My way of thinking is like after A, only B should come. But maybe you
Mhm.
might say A, B, in between A and B, there's a step that probably we are missing. And
Mhm.
from this thinking comes the most beautiful solutions that I have seen in my life. Three, I will understand you very well and know how not to make a mistake. So I think that gave me a lot of sense. I respected him more. Probably the first 1 year, I kind of was very pissed, very irritated. But then when I started using that in the industrial or in corporates, I
Mhm.
realized that I could deliver much, much more because you know where the mistakes are. You know what your customers are asking first.
Yes.
You know what
Yes.
your potential customers are looking for. Right now I don't have data, right? So but when I answer, listen to them, ask questions, okay, this is a dimension, this is a particular problem that I have not even thought of, or this is
Mhm.
a particular situation where I didn't even think of.
Mhm.
Now it is those questions that come in. So it's very important that the next time we do this, we should have a demo thing. Probably a paid version of StreamYard will get it. Let's get there. We'll figure out how it works.
Okay. Then, and I like what you said about the questions. So what we could do is ahead of time, I could ask people if they have questions to please put it
Sure.
in the comments, and then next time we'll have answers to those questions. Like for example, LinkedIn user says, "Are there easy to use AI tools for someone who's not tech savvy to enhance their brand?"
For sure, why not? So, um, let me give you two things. One is ChatGPT, universally available. All you have to do is spend half an hour every day
Mhm.
understanding the art and science of prompting. So, if you look for prompt engineering courses, there are thousands of them. And once
Mhm.
you finish, by the time you finish one such course, it will give you feed on something else that you need to pursue. So fundamentally, it is about keeping your antennas open to see, okay, now let's say I'm a healthcare professional, I go to a normal prompt engineering course, and there is something which says that, probably this can help you do prompting for medical, then I go to that particular course or I go to that particular video. And from then on, it's the chain reaction. So
Mhm.
one is ChatGPT. The second one that you could use for creating images is Midjourney. So, but
Mhm.
Midjourney is still a paid version. But when I started creating images, I used something called Playground.ai.
Mhm.
Pretty good tool, but not as good as what Midjourney can do. But what it can will teach you, it will. So Midjourney prompting is easy. So Midjourney has a brilliant mind. It does give you route output. But if you use Playground, you have to be really good with your prompting. Otherwise, the images that come out are trash. So your prompting will go up. So it will give you 1,000 output. So 1,000 prompts a month is a real good exercise. So Playground AI can help you do your this thing. Then there's one other tool called Leonardo. Leonardo the AI can give you some beautiful images, much better than Midjourney in some areas. So you will have to figure out which ones work for you and which one don't. And for videos, there is something called InVideo, InVideo. There is something called what else? Pictory is one. Pictory is a paid version in video, and then there are quite a few. So start getting the trial versions, but the trial versions last sometimes for a week, sometimes for a fortnight, and sometimes for a month. But whatever tool you use, please make sure that you sign up after you decide that you'll use that month for practicing it, because they give you great insights, they give you great outputs. Don't lose the opportunity. Yeah,
Mhm.
some people may say I will create a new email ID, but if you create a new email ID, there's no guarantee that you will do the same next time. You
Mhm.
don't not use it properly. So once you start using them, I think you will produce a lot of assets that you need for your business or for your work. And then once you decide what works for you, you can invest in buying those tools. So yeah, these are the tools that you could use.
I love it. And I think a mid journey is like $10 a month for the version where you just get a few um, chances to get the pictures. But I liked what you said in our room on how to leverage um, your brands um, with your niche, and you talked about how to find your niche with ChatGPT. Can you share that
Uh,
again? Because I thought it was brilliant.
sure. So
You
so
said
this is
Ikigai.
one. Yeah, so this is one activity that I go through with all my clients.
Mhm,
The problem with many of them is that probably two or one or two of them are informed, the remaining are uninformed.
mhm.
So now, if you look at the Ikigai diagram, there are four intersecting circles. I label
Yeah.
the first one, what are your strengths? What are your competencies? The second will be what are your mastery items. So of all the competencies, there are some of them that are mastered. Three, what is that the industry needs? The fourth one, which one of it is gets you paid? Now when you list all these three, you will realize that there will be one or two skills that you are mastered that the industry wants and that will pay you, and those two skills are your niche. So all you have to do is create a mission statement that I will use generative AI to brand cosmetic products in the luxury segment for companies that are between 20 million and 100 million.
Mhm.
That's it. So once your mission statement is ready, your niche is ready, you're ready for business. Now, how are you going to do that? So go back to ChatGPT, put your niche, saying that I plan to start a business for luxury FMCG products that are between 20 million and 100 million. Now, give me my ideal customer profile. Second, list 50 aspirations, frustrations, and motivations of my ideal customer profile. Now, ChatGPT will give you a beautiful report that is good enough to be a McKinsey report.
Mm.
I actually make them do this. I say, this is your Bible. So the next time I come, I want you to know all this. Who is my ideal customer? What are their aspirations, frustrations, motivations? Next, I ask ChatGPTs to give me what are their celebrations, what are their fears, and where do they spend most of the time. So ChatGPT gives me this information.
Mhm.
Now, you want to start a social media marketing, but where do you want to start? Do you want to start on Instagram? Do you want to start on LinkedIn, Twitter, Quora, where? So ChatGPT has also given you those engines.
Mhm.
So now, what do I write in social media? Again, many people do not know this. Now, I've told you what are your aspirations, what are your frustrations, and what are your motivations. For
Mhm.
somebody who's in the healthcare space, are you above 50? And is your waistline increasing? How do you get rid of it? Now, immediately I'm addressing all of them.
How
When
did
my
you know?
post, sorry,
How did you know that I need to get rid of my waistline? Kidding.
that was a very highly improbable guess, but so I just gave an example.
Mhm.
So make that post, give the call to action, and then you are educating your audience about what you do. And
Excellent.
education is the best form of getting your customers in. And show up every day. So in social media, the only way to win, I know a lot of companies which do nonsense creatives. The creative is horrible, but they show up every day.
Mm-hmm.
But the message is real. The picture maybe not so great, maybe something that is right out of Canva, but the message is good. They get customers. But there are people who do a beautiful creative, but the message is horrible. There's no call to action. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know why they are writing. Today they are talking about A, tomorrow they are talking about something else. Unless your marketing message again is very straight, it doesn't work. So this is
Mm-hmm.
how ChatGPT can actually give you all that you need for starting your business. Your
Excellent.
niche.
Yay. We have
Thank
we
you.
have we have satisfied people in the audience. LinkedIn user said, "Thank you, Angelica and Chaitanya, for this interactive and informative session. It indeed added a great value. Also explained all the questions with good examples and real life stories." Thank you, LinkedIn user.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So it looks like it's already 6:01, and as usual, the time went by really fast. I'm so excited about the next one. So
Sure.
thank
Same
you.
here. So
Yeah, thank everybody who was able to make it. We look forward to seeing you next week. We'll have some more interesting things, and I'm sure that Chaitanya has some hidden things up his sleeve, right, Chaitanya?
yeah, yes. So when we do a, like I said, a demo session, there'll be more questions and there'll be more insights that come in. So let's see.
Poku says greetings from Ghana. Thanks. Hi,
Thank
Poku.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for. Imagine it's very early for Poku in Ghana, and he still made it. Thank you so much. That means a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes, thank you. And this is going to be replayed, so make sure that you get to if you couldn't make it for the beginning, make sure that you get to see the whole thing because it's very interesting. Chaitanya, I am always very thankful to have you on this platform on this show, and it's always something interesting and eye-opening. It's been he says it's 2 a.m.
My goodness. Okay.
Thank you,
And thank
folks.
you so much. You made at least that timing makes my day.
Yeah. He says, "Oh yeah, great, thanks, nice." So love everybody who made it, and we hope you have a good day or a good afternoon or a good night, and we hope to see you next week.
That's it. Thank you. And Angelica, as ever, my gratitude for bringing me on this. Thank you so much.
My gratitude to you as well. Have a wonderful evening. Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Love you all.